president of the Nassau County Correctional Officers Benevolent Association. And I've been sitting here all day, and it's very disheartening to hear about all the youth services that are going to be cut. And I understand that the county is in bad financial shape. As a matter of fact, back in December, this legislature, minus Legislator Bridget Whitten and Legislator Salages, who were not on the seat yet, this legislature voted to change the adopted budget to lay off hundreds of county workers and to demote corporals at the jail. Now, there's 30 correction supervisors that were demoted at the jail. But what's happened in the meantime is there's been other promotions done at the jail. At the same time, the supervisors at the jail are still demoted. Now, my question to you, Presiding Officer Schmidt, is who has the authority to change the 2012 budget? Who has the authority to change the 2012 adopted budget? Because the legislature had to
change it how?
To add positions in that budget.
You have not listened to anything that's been going on here today, if you could ask that question.
Well, what's your answer?
Do you think we were in any position to add positions to the budget?
So you're saying that if a position is taken out of the budget, it cannot be filled?
No. What I'm saying is that to change the 2012 budget, the county executive would have to make a recommendation specific of what it is, what it wants to change, where the money would come from, where the money's going to go, and exactly what it is for, and send it to us and have his budget people stand where you're standing and make their case, and then we would vote to change the budget.
Okay, my question to you, because I have been paying attention all day, is was that done at the Correctional Center?
What is what?
Are you aware they did promotions at the Correctional Center last week?
If it's, yeah, exactly. If it's within the budget, they can do whatever they want.
Well, what if it's not in the budget? That's what I'm asking you. If there's two positions
Well,
for deputy undersheriff,
if they made the promotions, it's obviously in the budget.
well, your budget is that's on your website does not state that. As a matter of fact, the department requested to have 2 deputy undersheriffs. The county executive took it out of the budget, and in the adopted budget, the budget line is 0. But yet last week they promoted a deputy undersheriff who just happens to be good personal friends with Ed McGann. And they promoted another acting deputy undersheriff who just happens to be a neighbor of Ed McGann. And at the same time they're demoting supervisors at the jail, they're promoting civilian correctional center cooks at the jail. My question is, anybody up there familiar and know what's going on up there? Did you know they were doing promotions at the jail, promoting cooks? At the same time they want to close youth services, they're promoting cooks at the jail. Are you aware of that?
Promoted cooks at the jail to what? Undersheriffs.
From cook 2 to supervisor, or from cook 1 to... They're doing the same job, they're just getting paid more money. Now, all county workers are under a wage freeze right now, but yet they're awarding their political patronage jobs at the time and on the backs of the corporals that were demoted that took a civil service position that provides security.
Mr. Johnson, you have it.
It's Jaronczyk.
Jaronczyk?
Jaronczyk. You know how to say it. You know what, I'll let you call me James.
I know how to say it.
You know how to
say it, I would say it. What do you think? Is it a game?
You know how to say it. You'll play
Okay, good. John, you have a history of coming up here and making allegations with nothing to back them up.
Nothing to back it up.
Why don't you submit the dates, the times, the names, the salaries of who was promoted? If you want to send it to me.
Are you familiar with your budget?
This is not a cross-examination, John. That's not going to go down that way.
So my question is, you don't know what's going on at the jail.
Okay, fine. Finish up your 3 minutes and get out.
So you don't know what's going on.
You know what, I just want to say, I'm offended.
That's
You're
too bad.
telling someone to finish up their 3 minutes and get out?
This is not a
That's on the record.
cross-examination. I'm not going to have him stand
I'm
there and
asking you a
question
question
this.
as a presiding
He
officer.
was asking about adding positions. You snapped at him and said, oh, have you not listened? We have no money. Then when you found out that he was saying the county executive was adding positions,
Maybe you
you're
could
holding
this stage, but I certainly would not.
Everyone witnessed what you did.
Legislative Ford.
It's hard to reverse yourself.
Thank you
You've
very
got
much.
20 seconds.
You were saying that there are 2 undersheriffs that have been, were they promoted within the ranks?
No, well, one of his correctional officers that was promoted to a deputy undersheriff on June 11th, just happens to be a close personal friend of Ed Magano, and there's also an acting deputy undersheriff that went from correctional officer to an acting position, again, another resident and a neighbor of Ed Magano.
Are they
Now,
both acting or?
no, one is permanent and one is acting,
Okay.
and neither of them are in the budget.
Okay, and then, but what about the promotion that we said of the cooks? What were they promoted to?
They were promoted either from cook 1 to cook 2, where they're doing the same job, just getting paid more money, at a time when we're closing youth services. At a time when corporals and supervisors at the jail are demoted. The time you're cutting training at the jail, you're cutting services at the jail, you're cutting posts at the security posts at the jail, you're promoting cooks. Does that make sense to anybody up here?
In all fairness, I know, I know that you represent the sheriffs, and I'll look into this
I represent the
anyway.
correctional officers, yes.
Correctional officers, I'm sorry. But I know that the cooks fall under the CSEA, like, not.
Correct, and you know what, this is not a knock on any of the civilian staff at the jail. They do a very essential job. I've spoke to President Jaronczyk. I'm not trying to start a war with my union and his union.
Right.
But the reality is, if there's not enough money and we have to demote supervisors at the jail, then why are we promoting cooks? That's the question I'd like to answer.
There may be a reason, for that, and I'll speak to the county executive on that, or Mike Spizzato.
And my question about the budget is, if the deputy undersheriffs are not funded in the budget, how can they promote that position?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, it's something where.
Contrary to what Presiding Officer Schmidt said.
Within the budget, John,
Yes.
if they're operating within the budget of the Correctional Center, they can do that. It's apples to oranges to say we can't take money, you don't take money from the Correctional Center budget and use it to pay for youth services. It's not a choice that way. If there's a budget that's adopted for the Correctional Center. Now, I don't know the intricacies of what happened yesterday or last week, but if there is money in the budget internally within that department, where the sheriff can say, I'm taking X dollars from here, and X dollars from here, and I'm putting them here, and I'm promoting somebody to be.
So are you telling me that those 30 corporals, which had to be done legislatively, could be brought back?
As you know, as far as I'm understanding, the title of corporal doesn't exist anywhere. I think.
Well, you're mistaken, because there's still 62 of them.
Yeah, but they don't exist anywhere else in the state of New York.
That's not true either. I don't know who's giving you that information.
Okay.
That is not true.
John,
Probably the
I have a meeting on
President
Probably a
Thursday,
good
and
friend
I'll
of
bring,
now.
John, I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
meeting on Thursday, and I will ask the sheriff what changes in positions have taken place.
Norma, you're on the Civilian Review Board at the jail. Were you aware they did promotions there?
Pardon?
You're on the Civic Association Board there.
No,
Were you aware?
I'm going to be meeting with him on Thursday.
And you're on the Jail Advisory Committee. Were you aware they did promotions at the jail? And they promoted cooks at the jail?
I just said to you, John, that I have a meeting on Thursday, and I will inquire from the
Okay,
sheriff.
so you weren't aware?
Okay?
Okay.